Championships. Yoshiyuki is going to start us off here. It opens up with the Monkey Dory.
Yeah, dark energy to go along with that, and the only question now is, you got any more Pokemon for us?
Well, there's one.
That's not enough.
Fortunately, without access to something like a supporter like Arvin, couldn't find any items to help out, while Miguel opens up the Latias. That means there is free retreat. And with the buddy Puffin, you know, he's having a good time, could find something like the Badoo.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this. Item blocking when your opponent does not have Precious Trolley down. You have not seen that card. You know that Arvin wants to fight it on the other side. If you lock that out, it's pretty difficult to find all of your basic Pokemon that you want. We know that Yoshiyuki is used to lining up a massive board state.
Yeah, I mean, the Mega Box deck, the Mega Box deck doesn't need too much. Honestly, it can maneuver if it could play one singular item, as long as it's the A spec, right? After that, it's just a matter of getting energies on board with the Turbo Energize. But with the Badoo stopping this, it's going to be a little bit tougher to find a lot of the Pokemon, especially the one-ofs, like the Psyduck.
Oh, Miguel, he has the Pokepad to add to this board, but the rest of the hand, maybe leaving something to be desired. I think it's 4 Iono.
Well, that's at least usable.
Yeah, 4 Iono and a Dragapult. Okay, well, let's put those away for a little bit. We'll use those later in the game.
Put on the bottom. After Yoshi takes a couple of prize cards, it will probably be a little bit more powerful. Big 6 cards here, though.
Ooh,
there's an energy.
Energy is so nice to see. And now, oh man,
okay, that's
everything. Buddy Poffin now leads to the fact that you can hold that Pokepad for a future turn. You're not really worried about any item locking on the other side. We don't see the Badoo featured on the side of Yoshiyuki, so you can hold that Pokepad, see that Dracloak for a future turn, and draw into a bunch of different resources.
Ooh, a big thing from that Iono as well. I believe Yoshiyuki had the TM Turbo Energize in hand, so he's going to need to find that once again. It's in the bottom now.
Yeah, it's difficult to find that once more when you don't have access to those item cards. Thinning down a little bit closer. Of course, you can still reach for that if you find one of your 4 copies of Arvin. We'll see what's going on over on that side of the board.
Itchy Pollen, no items. But what do we have? There's a Mega Kangaskhan. That's definitely a way to at least draw more cards. There's a Lily, right?
Okay. He's got all the energies. Leaving something to be desired.
This is a big decision here. Yeah, I was thinking, do you put it on the Monkey Dory because that's where you like having those dark energy? But the option of potentially drawing to the Turbo Energize is just too tempting.
There's a question even with this of if the fighting energy or the dark energy would be a more appropriate play in this spot. But when you play the dark energy, that's Yoshiyuki thinking turns ahead to wanting access to an energy switch to move this off of the high hit point Kangaskhan later on in the game.
Points as Yoshi does draw 8 cards here, 8 big ones. Do we see a CD, a tool card? I did see a blue card.
There's a duck. That's helpful. There's a Duskull on the board, and you have to consider that Pokemon in the mix.
It's not done drawing just yet, but first we're going to move the damage. 1 singular damage counter.
Yeah, plenty of supporters for following turns now, but this hand needs a little more help. Kangaskhan loves to do just that with running errands.
Just, drawing one more supporter to add to the hand. There's an Arvin for the next turn.
Yeah, if you could play 2 supporters, that would be pretty nice. But missing out on the Turbo Energize that turn, the big miss would have really helped with those Monkey Dories. And now it's on Miguel. And this is the turn where you need to giddy up. You have 1 Dracloak already. If you can chain these together, and it starts to get pretty feisty.
Let's see if he finds more. I don't think those were Dracloaks. Something of note, too, from Yoshi's turn, he actually went energy negative, which is very, very tough. Had to pay for that retreat cost as there was no free retreat option. It's going to be another boss. Might have to pay even more energy.
I got news. This hand isn't great. There's not much on Miguel's side as well, so the Iono did not work out there. It seems like when you Iono the 3 other supporters away, it's unlikely to find another draw card.
10 damage on the Psyduck. Well, it can be moved with the Monkey Dory. You never want the Psyduck in that 60 damage range. Right now, Yoshi has a couple of things he can play. He can even play the Penny as a retreat option. Is going to opt for the Arvin.
Does it get more awkward than this? The item lock really slowing things down to a halt, and the one Pokemon that you have to assist in retreating is Pecharunt, but there's no other dark Pokemon. You just have to Pecharunt to other things. You add to all of the board state here. You'd have to play, what, the Mega Absol down? And so you want to be charging that Pokemon up, not bringing it into the active.
Yeah, no, bench space is so premium. You can't afford the Latias here or anything like that. Gonna have to pay the energy to accelerate energy.
Maybe the duck will charge up its friends, and there's the fighting energy. Psyduck doing work, helping out here. And that's just what you need to do in spots like this. It's the finals of a regional championship. You've worked your way through 2,600 other players.
Oh.
And now you're going to load up for the Kangaskhan. Maybe a combo or two will be coming our way.
We saw Miguel flip a couple of coins there in his top 4 route. Might be Yoshi's turn.
It's only fair.
Oh, big Lily here, though.
Yeah, unfortunate for Miguel. He just didn't have much else with the Dracloak to chain those together. But finding that supporter card is very nice, as you have the 10 damage already on the Psyduck. You can see a world where you start to piece all of this together, chain together these Dracloaks, find an additional energy, and you could start taking knockouts pretty shortly.
It's full 8 cards here from the Lily's Determination. Could find, well, definitely wants to find more dragons. Wants to find more Dracloaks, because Dracloaks equal energy, equal draw cards. There's an Ultra Ball. He's not under item lock, so he's free to use all the items he wants.
Yeah, a bit curious to see the Ultra Ball first when you have access to the Recon Directive. Typically, players will use the Recon Directive first to see if they have better odds to see the Dracloak itself, but it's just staring at him at the bottom of the deck, so I guess it worked out for him this time around.
Could even find maybe, oh, let's find worse cards to discard. Yeah, with 2 Dracloaks now, Miguel is going to be able to find, at least see 4 more cards from the deck. Is he looking for anything specific here, Kyle?
Well, you have a pretty solid setup so far. The energy card would be something of note, and of course an additional Dracloak would be nice to establish at this point. Other than that, you're just thinking about future turns. This is a spot where if you have boss's orders for the coming turns, where you can target down Monkey Dories, or put some pressure onto that Mega Kangaskhan, where all the energies are living at this spot. These are just things that you need to think of for the future turns if your opponent doesn't find that Iono.
Follow-up question. Is it time? Is it time to break the lock? Is it time to attack?
No.
Okay.
I'm not ready at this spot. The board state's very vulnerable. One wild Kangaskhan could ruin your day.
It's just so tempting when you have your A-Spec in hand, and he drops it. A-Spec in hand does have the Dragapult EX as well. But nope, yeah, it's just going to be the Itchy Pollen. How do you feel about the A-Spec being placed right off the bat?
The pressure's on Yoshiyuki at this point. If you have the boss's orders and the dark energy, you want to use this Mega Kangaskhan and get aggressive, attack in for a single prize. That seems to be something that Miguel is ready to pay the price for. However, we don't see those resources just yet.
There's going to be the Monkey Dory movement there, healing up the Psyduck a little bit more. 30 damage now on one of the Dracloaks.
Cannot get over how awkward this board is with no other dark Pokemon. Petron is your only way to move. Retreating Psyduck, but then what do future turns look like? Do you ever commit to an attacker here like a Mega Kangaskhan? It seems like a little bit extra.
Do you ever just penny just to fix up the board state, pick up the Petrons potentially?
Just try again with Latios? I take it back. I'm sorry.
That's exactly what happens. Petron now off the board. 2 spaces to work with now. But just passes it back. Psyduck just holding the line here for Yoshi.
Do it. You won't.
That's a couple of Dracloaks here. Oh, he could even ram. One more attachment. Why not?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. That'd be an interesting play. Pokepad there now for Miguel, and additional Dracloaks on line. 3 to work with here. As you start to piece together this puzzle, the energies are already in play. You typically only want to evolve into one of these Dragapults at a time. The only other piece that we're missing is to see the Dusclops come down at some points, but maybe you don't want to commit that resource just yet until you have a good answer to the Psyduck. Most players can work in that Hawlucha in combination with the Dragapult and take that off the board.
Does find the Ultra Ball. Could choose to find the Dusclops here if he wants to. A lot of evolution has happened already.
Where do you go from here? Just already holding on to so many valuable resources. Ultra Ball, Dragapult, boss's orders, all the pieces that you want to see.
If you were Miguel, when would it be time to start attacking?
We're very close. The problem is that you would love to have that first prize card go to Yoshiyuki in this point. The Bidoof spot just doesn't really help you. If you could make it all work with boss's orders, clearing the Psyduck, and then having that space for the Duskull, fantastic. But if you need to place the damage counters down, that's where you feel uncomfortable. 2 Monkey Dories with dark energies. Maybe it's time to start clearing those.
So we do see the Dragapult now move to the active, so we will at least see an attack. This is one of those times where maybe the Jet Headbutt is a lot better than giving your opponent ammo to throw right back at you. But Hilda is going to be played first, able to find an evolution Pokemon and 1 more energy.
The Luminous Energy added now, and you can search out even one piece of that Dusclops, or even find that backup attacker in the other Dragapult. has the energies to take the knockout here. It seems silly, but that Psyduck is a threat. Having access later on in this game to the Dusknoir specifically is really a key factor in removing a 3-prize Pokemon.
Attachment is committed to the Dragapult. No evolution yet onto the Dusclops, and it is going to be the attack. Which one? The first one.
You got to check. So please use the big one. Come on.
Just like that, Miguel takes the first prize card here. The final. To Yoshi does have a Kangaskhan. Maybe we start flipping some coins here.
I mean, is this where you wanted all of your energies, Wancho? I'm sure Chip wanted them all here. It's looking to be a rapid-fire combo.
Ooh, wham, bam. But more importantly, the Night Stretcher getting the ever-important Psyduck back. And Big Iono as well. We know Miguel was able to get a lot of cards with the Recon Directives, but more importantly, refreshing the hand.
Still yet to see any of those Pokemon to help move out of the active spot at some point in time.
A lot of Stadium there. Lively Stadium able to increase the HP on basic Pokemon. Another great way to ensure survival.
All right, 2 heads would get the job done here with the rapid fire combo.
Spinning.
That is crazy.
That's...
What do we see?
Is
it one or two? One or two?
Two.
Okay. One more flip to take the knockout. Kangaskhan.
Oh, how does he do this?
This is just next level. Where is it?
I need a massive
one or two. And he clears the Dragapult off the board.
The most suspenseful dice spin in the stream?
Are we closer to the middle of the world? Like, how did that happen?
Only in Houston, maybe.
the equator's pull just taking it.
Hey, but only fair. 2 heads did take Miguel into this final. Yoshiyuki taking those 2 heads, taking a big knockout on the Dragapult. That's A-okay, though. Miguel has a lot of backup here. Couple of draws. Still has the Neo Upper Energy already attached to the second Draclo, so he can even start working towards building the 3rd Draclo.
Where do you go from here? You have this threat that apparently can just do endless damage in the active spot.
That's true.
And these Monkey Dories, that any time that you attack in with your best attack, just send 60 damage your way to ruin your day. Without item lock in this spot, Yoshiyuki is free to energy switch these energies. Any damage left over leads directly into a Mega Absol terminal period to just close out on one of your best Pokemon. It's a dangerous field.
Very, very dangerous. You know, I wanted to see Yoshi keep rolling the dice. I believe it says roll until tails. So should we call a judge on that?
If we sat here for another 10 minutes watching dice spin.
Second Dragapult EX now online. I used to think this attack was so unfair. 200 damage and the 60 movement. That's nothing to infinite damage.
It seemingly has been checked on this side. Iono now for Miguel. It's going to take a massive hand away from Yoshiyuki as he downloads as much information as possible before sending this to the bottom of the deck. A wise call.
Yes. Always important to remember what goes to the bottom. Is it important to shuffle later down the line, or keep the deck as is? Draws 4 cards. 4 cards, no sticky cards there. Okay.
Worth noting, when the Pheasantipity was played down, that took away the spot for the Hawlucha. If you have the Hawlucha, the 6 damage counters of the Dragapult find a home on that Psyduck, and you just leave 10 damage on the other side for a Monkey Dory. I don't think that would have been too terrible.
Now, if the Dragapult does attack, that's a lot more ammo for your Yoshi to throw back as well. Another scary thing to think about is the Absol could even come out of nowhere.
Yep, it's the spooky card, and this is where Miguel then takes his plan. Do not leave damage counters on board. Headbutt this duck and move on.
Good plan. I guess he has yet to announce a Phantom Dive this game. First attack, just 1. Jet Headbutt takes the knockout on Psyduck once again.
This really does open up a bunch of avenues, as you now see with 4 cards in hand for Yoshiyuki, a lot more unlikely to find that Night Stretcher at the opportune time to pull back that Psyduck, and with the Dusclops already lined up. A Dusknoir in combination with this Dragapult could easily clear the Mega Kangaskhan, go down to 1 prize card remaining. It's a pretty great spot if you ask me.
Taking out the main threat on board. There's only 1 Night Stretcher left in Yoshiyuki's deck. So has, again, 4 cards to work with, plus the draw from Mega Kangaskhan. Plus the draw for turn. There's a lot of stuff in hand, a lot of supporters.
Yeah, I'm a little curious about how we slowed down at that spot, but looks like we're back to the action. Mega Kangaskhan drawing through, trying to find a little bit more help now, and energies aren't exactly what you need at this spot. We found plenty of those throughout the course of the game. It's other attackers, a little variety would be helpful.
Who specifically, Kyle? Who would you pull out here?
I like Mega Absol.
You don't. That doesn't have infinite damage.
That's true, but it can use Terminal Period, which is an infinite knockout.
without damage counters on the board, it's not yet.
I think we're getting close to the point where Miguel may have to leave a damage counter or two on the board.
You sure? Maybe it's just another jet headbutt, but importantly, no Night Stretcher just yet.
Looks like there is going to be a pause in the action here as take a review. Potential to have seen a card on one of the shuffles, so or it's one of the as the deck was tipped over a little bit, so we will see where that leads us. But as we already are pretty far into this game, 20 minutes down, 4-4 on these prize cards. It's really hard to see where this game's going to go as with this lack of attackers from Yoshiyuki's side. You would have to think that Miguel could piece together something, but it just really depends on what he can do with his hand.
Exactly. I mean, Kangaskhan is nice and all. Monkey Dories are nice. Typically, those are the things you like to see on the board. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Even a Mega Absol attack would be nice. So I'll just pick out things from the hand. But, whew.
Yeah, we've seen that Terminal Period and well, Claw of Darkness just ripping through hands so often, finding that pivotal supporter card, additional energy, one of those extra Night Stretchers or Dragapults, just anything that can get you right over the edge to take those knockouts. And for Miguel, once you start evolving, it's a slippery slope. You lose out on those Dracloaks, you lose out on those resources to draw into and find cards for later on, and then you find yourself being susceptible to Iono.
I believe we can take a look at the clip that we're questioning here. If we've oh, it is accidentally drawing.
Uh-oh.
An extra card sticky.
Yep.
Why?
Why?
Again.
Why does that keep happening?
Oh.
All right. Oh, we'll see what that means.
Yeah.
Always nice to be in a little box with you, Wancho.
We've worked together for 3
And the game ends. Those 3 prize cards.
again, just explaining things properly. But Dragapult has such an easy answer to just wipe out both those things in one go in their own stadium.
Hey, we're out of the box.
Where'd we go?
It's like we will resume play. No word just yet on what happened. I did see Yoshiyuki signal over to his opponent.
Looks like it is going to be a double prize penalty. That means, yeah, Miguel just has to take 2 more prize cards to win this game. But here we go. We're back now in the final. So Yoshiyuki's turn is going to be able to draw 2 cards. It's an energy switch. Armin, there's a lot of cards in hand. A lot of options.
Yeah, the ability was reset given what happened with the thing, because that was a reversible board state. So now we're back to this point where you can use that resource. I think the answer has to be something involving an Iono at this point. If Miguel holds on to this hand, if Boss's Orders is sitting there, and you don't have a Night Stretcher for Psyduck, you will see a 2-prize KO on both those Monkey Dory. Or just flip a bunch of heads. Get rid of that Dragapult once more.
There is the option of the Arvin in hand if you just want to hard find the Night Stretcher. Just get the Psyduck. And that could be the case. Then we flip coin.
Yes. Let him flip. Arvin finds the Bravery Charm. Make sure that we can prolong this game a little longer. Either adding that to the Monkey Dory on the back, or if you think that it will be a game where the Dusknoir takes out the Mega Kangaskhan in combination with Dragapult, you can buff those hit points a little bit now. Yes,
perfect card to grab there, Night Stretcher. But this is the last one. This is the one last time Psyduck can make an appearance unless I'm missing something like
oh yeah, card. Big Duck. Bravery Charm locking that in. No more headbutt knockouts. If you attack me, damage will be left on board. We'll see if any damage is left on board this time. It's 200. Missing out on the rapid fire combo additional effects.
200 damage now onto the Dragapult. Can Miguel still close things out even with the Psyduck in play? Is there a line?
It really messes up any of the math here. If you wanted to take that additional knockout, typically it's use of Curse Blast. And that damp effect on the Psyduck, removing that option.
Just dampening the party in general. But here we go. Recon Directive. Nothing too useful right now, anyway. Is there anything in the hand besides Pokepad? I don't think there's a supporter.
Yeah, Miguel really did not want to see Night Stretcher on that turn. Had the Dusknoir ready to go. Instead now has to find a different answer. Has Iono.
Oh, okay. Okay. Iono is just more cards. Limit your opponent down to 4. You have 4 fresh ones as well. Surely this time we see the Phantom Dive. The Phantom Dive, that's just more ammo too with the Monkey Dories.
Really difficult call here in this spot. It's just such a hindrance to have the additional damage of Phantom Dive at this point when you see the Monkey Dories.
Miguel is, I could have sworn he was thinking about attaching to the Dusclops. Is there any reason you'd think that would be something?
Be scared of being stuck in the active spot at some point, but I don't think you ever really want to work into attacks.
I've seen Dusknor attack into Crustle multiple times.
That is a world I don't want to visit right now.
Right now, there it is. Phantom Dive. First one of the match. 200 damage onto the Mega Kangaskhan. And, yep, 5 damage counters onto the Monkey Dory and 1 on the Psyduck. I love this. Tough choice. Do you use the Monkey Dory to move the singular damage on that Psyduck? That seems like less value. Or get the full 3 from any of your other Pokemon.
Yeah, well, with the Bravery Charm on that Pokemon, you're not worried about being KO'd just yet, but the Jamming Tower is always a looming effect that you need to consider. It's really wise to spread that damage out and force your opponent to consider, do you ever have to commit that spot? You'd think, oh, Lively Stadium might be able to give me some additional help. No, you'd lose that in combination with the Jamming Tower played. It takes both of those avenues away.
Nestball grabbing the Latias EX there could signify that Yoshi might want to retreat this turn. Well, definitely wants to retreat this turn because the Kangaskhan is beat up. What are we thinking of retreating to?
You needed some more hit points in the active spot. Remember, it's just 2 prize cards remaining for Miguel in this spot with the double prize loss. So if you can work in the first Mega Absol of the game, maybe you have an avenue, but
Mega Absol. Unfortunately, there's more than 6 damage counters on the Dragapult. That means Terminal Period isn't online. It might have to be... Oh, hey.
That's why you think about the Psychic Energy. You don't want to get stuck up there. You don't have a way to use this Curse Blast effect when the Psyduck's in play, and Pokemon's just stuck for now. Evolving into the Dusclops now with when you see the Latias sitting on the bench, just feels tough.
And just like that, Yoshi has a lot of damage counters to play around with too. Could potentially just wait a couple of turns and just move so much damage back.
It is a 2 retreat cost on this Pokemon if you wish to manually retreat at some points. And what resources do you find? Is that the one of Turo sitting there?
It is the one of
Nasty
Turo.
work.
Great way to pick this up. Luckily, Latias has 210 HP.
No Halucha's going active.
Toro also means, that is the supporter for turn. That means no boss's orders. And if Miguel chooses to re-bench the Duskull only has 60 HP. There's 2 Monkey Dories.
Well, you're still setting up for a pretty great plan here now with the Dragapult played down. Of course, you can't play that. Oh yeah, you have that energy loaded up, so you can have both those Pokemon ready to attack. I think if you just throw a pile of damage at Latias and Mega Kangaskhan, your opponent can't heal both of them off, and one of them will be waiting for you. If ever a prize card is taken on Yoshiyuki's side, Counter Catcher is still active for you. Even though it's a double prize loss, you have 4 prize cards sitting there, and you only need 2 to close out.
200 now on the Latias. There's a lot of ways to try and heal that off. Well, there's a Penny. There's Penny to try and heal off something on the Latias.
Yeah, there you have it. Just that damage counter back over to the Psyduck, setting up for that strategy if it's Dragapult in combination with Jamming Tower. Monkey Dory now has 60 hit points remaining, so that Pokemon could be cleared away if it's not healed. Penny needs to be played on one of these 2 Pokemon if you wish to heal that. And Yoshiyuki just needs to draw cards.
Ooh, all right. Choosing to draw 2 with the run errant. That means the Penny has to go on the Kangaskhan?
Well, if the pieces are all here, then energy in combination with the Monkey Dory could push 90 onto the active to take a knockout. And then a boss's orders on Pheasantipity would be a clear KO with the Mega Kangaskhan.
Oh.
But do you have the cards for that?
That's a lot to ask for off 2 cards, since we did see...
How many energies have we seen already? Look at this. It's 5 dark energies, 2 fighting, a mist in the prizes. There's not much left going on here.
There's like 1 dark energy left in the deck. Granted, there are multiple energy switches, well, specifically 2 energy switches that could still see play. You can also Penny the Monkey Dory, reestablish that if you really, really want to get 90 damage movement.
Yeah, the problem is then the Badoo is played in the active spot. You don't have a chance at the game-winning flips. How do you go about this?
Damage movement. I thought for a second that was the attack.
Just cleaning up some of the damage on this side of the board. Miguel's still holding on to a massive hand on the other side, but no Cloaks to rebuild this. And Second Monkey Dory is played. Is this Penny for a knockout? And then work things out. Tons of damage still left on the board. This might just be like a retreat into Psyduck and hang on after this ridiculous play here.
He's retreated already.
Oh, yes.
How do you get the Kangaskhan out of the active? You can't put down Petch. You've already played your Penny.
Uh-oh.
Can you heal it enough where it
Bravery, Charm, Lively Stadium. You'd still be in range at that point.
You just hope your opponent doesn't have a singular energy card? Is the play?
That's an out.
Yeah, right now there is 110 HP on the Kangaskhan. Lively Stadium increases that.
Wow. There's a KO on Badoo. Prize card taken. Yoshiyuki. And just closer. But now it's on Miguel. Just needs to flash that energy.
One energy. And he wins this first game here at the finals of Houston. Does he have it? There's Nayono. There's so many cards. Ursaluna? Oh, that does it too. Who? And Miguel takes that knockout. Blood Moon Ursaluna. 240 damage onto the heavily damaged Kangaskhan. And takes the first game against Yoshiyuki.
That would be the first time that I've seen a Blood Moon Ursaluna win the game when you have 4 prize cards remaining. But I guess it works out there in that spot. That's, of course, when you have the double prize loss snuck into that, it's a bit unfortunate. But that's why we have so much time here in the finals. Great chance for both these players to really show us what they're made of. We saw a lot of great play in the start of this game. Take one more look at how we got here. It was headbutt and Psyducks.
Psyduck just holding the line here for Yoshi. And ooh, the big suspenseful coin flips from the Kangaskhan. And double heads takes the knockout on the Dragapult EX. I thought for sure that would just run away with the game with that. And then just another headbutt.
Yep.
With Psyduck.
Can't leave damage counters on the board when you're staring down double Monkey Dory.
See, that's why Psyduck has the headache.
Because we've been headbutting it. Yes, of course. That's just rough. You think game design thought about that with the jet headbutt 70 into a 70 hit point Psyduck?
I believe it, Kyle. I believe it. Yeah, Miguel Marin right now, just one game away from becoming this year's Houston regional champion. But Yoshiyuki, this is a player who has been in this game, one of the best players in the game. So I'm sure, yes, there is the setback of getting that double prize penalty, getting this game loss. I 100% believe this is a player who can maintain composure despite situations like this.
Yeah, with Miguel 2-0 through Liam Halliburton at one point in this tournament. Yoshiyuki 2-0 through Henry Chow in the top 4. Now both these players sit with 1, maybe 2 games left to see who will be our champion. We are getting things underway with some unlikely heroes.
That's Psyduck once again, and how Lucha in the active, something you never want to see. Not only is it not the best Pokemon to start with, it means you don't have access to that flying entry ability. Right now, Miguel at least has the Buddy Buddy Pop in. Look at the prize cards.
Oh no, double Dreepy. That's not great to see. It's just lining up for that Buddy Buddy Popping on that opening turn. That's immediately what you go to look for. I guess at the bottom of the prize cards, if you do find the early KOs, you'll run into those.
Yeah, with 2 prize, you are missing a couple of links in that chain, right?
Hey, nasty on the other side from Yoshiyuki. You see a Psyduck and you start to wonder, okay, well, what's he really going to do here? You let your opponent go first because you want to make sure you have a turn of items. What's the best item you could have when you're staring down a Badoo waiting for you?
Your A-Spec.
Precious Trolley.
Doesn't even have to find it with an Arven?
He's got all of that just waiting for him on the other side.
Oh, tell me he has a Turbo Energize as well.
I can't tell you that yet. We'll see at least one of those in the prize cards for Yoshiyuki. So it could be a little trickier, but of course we know Arven, very easy find that could potentially lead to that and accelerate all those energies. Some key piece that was missing in the last game. Acceleration over to a Kangaskhan wasn't exactly where you wanted to go.
Ultra Ball being played there, grabbing Miguel's last Dreepy right now anyway. And it's just going to be a pass now to Yoshi. Let's see some big plays potentially. There it is. Precious Trolley able to find as many basic Pokemon you can fit on your bench.
It's going to fill up here at this point. You have plenty of great Pokemon. Nothing really to worry about in those prize cards.
There it is, the correct retreat option this time. Not the Petrant, going straight into the Latias. And who handpicked himself 2 Megas, 2 Monkeys, and your retreat.
Yeah, retreat that Psyduck. That's a Pokemon you want in this optimal setup as well. So you have all that working for you. Energy to a Mega Kangaskhan and a Turbo Energize onto either Monkey Dories or that Mega Absol if you want to get aggressive in this spot. We've seen either way. It just depends on what your hand is telling you. If you have boss's orders and you can start destroying some of these Dracloaks on the other side, get after it. Where's the Turbo Energize? Oh, no.
Almost perfect, Kyle. Maybe the Arvin would have been better, but yeah.
Maybe any supporter would have been better.
Just an attachment there onto the Mega Absol EX, as Miguel does have the Lily's Determination, and I believe evolved one of the Dreepies into Dragapult.
A piece that was missing in the last hand was an energy card. If you can find that, you can establish this item lock, maybe buy a few more turns. And sees a few of those. However, you will not see any more Dracloaks because Dreepy is waiting right there.
Plays the buddy often anyway, but hey, you can still grab Duskull. Those are pretty important.
Oh, yeah, we love Duskull, especially with the Psyduck waiting for us on the other side.
Just wait for the headbutt. Wait for the headbutt.
Okay, it's coming. Do you commit at this point? I think Miguel learned a little bit of his lesson in the last time when he evolved into the Dusclops preemptively. It made sense for the spot because you wanted to have access to Dusknoir previously, but if you just leave this as a Duskull for now, if your opponent ever tries to trap it up, you have the Latios that can move it around or have that lower retreat.
Just even more insult to injury, more ways to find non-rule box Pokemon if they were in the deck. Ooh, finds a Latias though. Could even say, hey, you know what? I didn't get my other Dreepy because I definitely wanted this Latias on the bench.
This is what I was looking for, and it actually is pretty nice. You have that energy card now for the Dracloak. Feel pretty confident with that Itchy Pollen into this board. Maybe your opponent doesn't find any more ways to get energies accelerated.
Did whiff on the Turbo Energize. 2 more cards here from Yoshiyuki. There's an Arvin.
Arvin, hang on. We got a game.
We're accelerating. Again, one of the Turbo Energizes was prized. There, luckily, Yoshiyuki does play 2. That's just how important this TM is. Main way to really accelerate in the deck.
And look at this board on the other side for Miguel with just the 2 Dracloaks and all these awkward Pokemon to work with. Mega Absol could really start to shred through this with boss's orders, taking away some nice cards in the hand as well, just leaving awkward Pokemon like Duskulls that have no effects built in, this Hawlucha that's not going to do anything. If you can ignore item lock, go for it.
There's 2 Darkness Energies coming into play straight into the Mega Absol. I was thinking if we spare some for the Monkey Dories, but
I think if there was one more Itchy Pollen into this Mega Kangaskhan, you'd consider it to have at least 1 Dark Energy on the Monkey Dory, then push that damage to the Badoo, and then try to take that KO under Dracloak. But if you can leave that Pokemon on the board, it doesn't hurt you, and it just leads to Miguel having a pretty weak board on the other side.
Right now, first Recon Directive already used. Here's the second one. What do you think he's digging for? Oh, look, a Dracloak.
Yes, typically everything you're looking for right then and there, but things have changed. And if you go aggressive in this spot now, as we've seen the energy and the Dragapult in hand, you could always consider attacking in, leaving that damage on the board, and hoping not to see that terminal period on the other side. But even just an energy and an energy switch could surprise you and take that damage right back over to the Dragapult. So slows down. Energy on the other Pokemon. Wise.
1 Psychic on 1, Fire for the other. Professor Turo, that's a great way to free up a bench space, get access to the Hawlucha in the future. That's just that important. So have access to the extra 10 ping. As it is just going to be Itchy Pollen once again. Back with Yoshi. Question is, does he have something like a boss's order, get a little bit more value?
All right, Mist Duck lined up. This is a great way to protect this Pokemon through any of the additional damage effects that we typically see in this matchup. However, it does leave a spot for Miguel to place the damage. If you ever want to avoid the Phantom Dive additional effect, you can just throw all that onto the Mist Energy and clear that away. Still would have that 200 damage in the active on whichever Pokemon, so you would be in range of Terminal Period. It's just a slow down turn, pass over, hold on to that Psyduck and friends.
Just a pass back now on to Miguel, and again, it's a hallmark of our top players, our pro players. Patience. Wait for the right time.
How hard is it to have patience in a spot where 35 minutes in, you're already down a game in the finals, but sure enough, it's just where you need to be. You trust your deck, you trust yourself. You've got a pretty ugly board on the other side, just no Dreepies to work with other than these 2 Pokemon set up, and you can start chipping away at them. This could be trouble.
I wonder how many. We've watched so many games now where players just really wait for the optimal board, and I like it. I like to see decks really have access to the full power, full capabilities. Right now, Pokepad is going to be played. Second Duskull.
If you didn't know before, you know now, Yoshiyuki. That's a pretty clear indication.
Just really wants to be able to pop.
Well, we could see something like that, even with the boss's orders and the Jet Headbutt into the Psyduck. At this point, clear that away, force your opponent to have the additional resources to bring this card back, and It's just not time yet. The damage is lined up. If Yoshiyuki wants to get aggressive, energy switch, dark energy over that Monkey Dory would be plenty to take the KO.
Let's think about attaching the energy onto the Kangaskhan. Has basic fighting energy, has energy switch, but no dark energy in hand just yet. Onto the Kangaskhan. Almost ready to start swinging, but oh, no, we are swinging. There's the boss's orders.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. If you get to this spot, you sense weakness. Doesn't really matter about what you see in the hand, but you can start to limit a few things. If you like your hand, dump that Iono. Do not give your opponent a chance. And there's only one Dracloak to draw back from this spot.
That was the only supporter in Miguel's hand. I was surprised by that, actually. It's been a couple of turns, a couple of draws, but that's all he had to work with. Right now, Yoshiyuki takes the first prize card.
And if Miguel doesn't feel comfortable attacking in at this point, evolving that Dracloak and starting to work in some combination of attacks, he's in for a world of pain. A boss's orders drawn off the prize cards from Yoshiyuki. That Pokemon will be instantly cleared off the board.
Yoshiyuki's deck plays 4 boss's orders and 2 counter catchers. 6 ways to get targeted attacks. The energy attachment. Doesn't even have Night Stretcher, maybe try and get back the Dreepy.
Yeah, that's where I was going at that point too. It's just, you need to have that Pokemon back in play, attack in, put pressure on your opponent so that they can't force Monkey Dory damage anywhere that you don't need.
Again, Yoshiyuki did hit the Iono in Miguel's hand, but was able to draw. Miguel was able to draw into an Iono off the Dracloaks, I believe, but is opting to just attack here. Oh, wait.
It's Hawlucha.
Oh, that was Hawlucha, yeah.
That's wild that Professor Turo at that early stage of the game to pick this Pokemon back up now played right back down to put some pressure onto this board, but it does lead to KO. If you want to remove that Latios, you could do that. I think we saw Counter Catcher in hand, but we'll forego it. And this is pretty big, as Yoshiyuki had the combo in hand of energy along with the energy switch to have an easy access to a terminal period KO on the following turn. Now those cards need to be found 5 in hand, and working in that Kangaskhan draw just gets a little trickier.
Getting a knockout on this lone Dragapult is just game ending. There's no backup at all for Miguel. It has to be an attack. Do you put the 6 damage counters on the Psyduck, or there's a lot of damage already? Might as well put the 6 somewhere.
If you put them on the Psyduck, there's not enough damage to terminal period off of anywhere else but the Mega Absol. That damage would have to be moved from that point. And goes with the Counter Catcher. I thought we saw it in the earlier hands, but wants to go with it now. And this is that same spot of if you put the damage counters all onto the Psyduck, you don't have to worry about terminal period. This is a big risk. Wants to place the damage out.
You can also put it in a way where you can't move 3 and 3, right? Just 2 on the Mega Absol and now 5 on to...
But with 3 on Mega Kangaskhan, it's irrelevant.
I missed that one. There's already 3 from the Badoo.
Yeah, and double Dreepy found. It's just in the moment that the board is filled with Hawlucha. Just not working out just yet, but Yoshiyuki has not shown the pieces. I don't think any of those cards are getting the job done.
Opts for the Kangaskhan into the active. That is the draw, but right now there's no way to retreat. Even the Petron could help out at this point. Nothing in the hand is part of the combo piece.
Right.
Break it down. What does Yoshi need?
Well, this is where you need to make a decision of do you play the supporter first or do you use this Mega Kangaskhan? It wants to see the draws. What answer do you have? That's an Iono Cornerstone. That's not great. Arvin has access to that energy switch. Is there an energy in the hand to go along with this?
Switch. Again, I don't think I saw the Darkness energy in Yoshiyuki's hand. Is it an energy switch to the Kangaskhan? Because we can't retreat it.
Yeah, this Pokemon's stuck. There's a fighting energy that can be worked in, so missed out in that regard. Energy moved over to the Monkey Dory. Going to soften up the Dragapult and go for the 2 flips once more. Are you kidding me? Is it really time? Can push that damage onto the active. It's 290 remaining. He's done it once. Can he do it twice?
This one's a little bit more important than the last one. This is the lone Dragapult for Miguel. Here's the first one.
Oh, misses out. No spin time.
He misplayed. It didn't get the spin. The spin was the heads.
He got a little more wrist action there.
200 damage now onto the lone Dragapult. Miguel is not out of the woods. He still needs to find a way. There is no way. There is no way to bench a Dreepy. The tutorial's already used.
You get all excited because Yoshiyuki can't really clamp down in that game, close out right here. But then you look at the board and you're like, oh, man, where do you go from here?
You can't pop Dusclopses to open up the board. You're just going to have to attack with the Dragapult again, then go into Badoo?
Just not conducive at this point.
Very, very awkward. Literally nothing can attack besides Badoo.
If your other attacker has to be Shadowbind Dusknoir with Neo Upper Energy, we are in for a crazy final. You've seen it before playing against Crustle. Is it time against Yoshiyuki Yamaguchi?
I didn't mean to curse this with that.
Well,
that might be the case. 150 damage is not negligible. That's pretty good. That's half the Mega's HP. And with the secondary effect...
Nope.
Oh.
Not a fan of the uppies. Fire energy to this Pokemon would also be the same. It just really values this attacker instead of others. I can understand Bidoof slowing things down, but it can't slow down a boss's orders if that's to be found. And that would be absolute pain.
Dragapult with 90 HP remaining.
There's a Monkey Dory. There's enough damage counters to clear this Pokemon. If you just need to see a new Pokemon in the active spot.
Earthen Vessel is a great way to find more energies. There's should be more darkness energy in the deck. I believe there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. The boss's orders was the biggest thing, and unfortunately, Yoshiyuki doesn't have it just yet. Oh, Earthen Vessel can't be played because we're under Bidoof.
Yes, that too. Yeah, just setting up for some additional attackers. If you place this damage over to the other side, you can remove the Bidoof from play and attack into something, hopefully, and take put a little more pressure on your opponent. It's just awkward. You don't have, maybe Pecharunt at this point is the only real resource that would make you feel good. You can't play Night Stretcher to pull back that Latias and bring that back onto the board. Kangaskhan doesn't feel like the right attacker in this spot. If you attack in with Claw of Darkness, that's where you want to be.
At this point, do you think maybe even the correct play is to not attack, not give the bench space open?
I kind of just want to see my opponent send up one of these goofballs. If you have the answer, you take a KO on something good. If they send up something bad, you wait your time. But no, he doesn't mind the item lock, and I get that too.
Yeah, no, it is just going to be the pass, not giving Miguel the bench space.
Truly, where do you go from here?
Hey, there's 2 energies. Neo Upper is going onto the Dusclops.
He's found the line. I have run out of ways to attack. If I ever promote this Dragapult, it is KO'd. I need to sub in a different attacker. It could technically do a little bit of work.
I mean, it has a secondary effect as well, where during the next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat, trapping something in the active. Trapping a Mega Evolution seems pretty good as well.
Yep. Of course, there's still Pecharunt, Penny, a few other resources to consider, but just having another attacker in this spot feels nice. Itchy Pollen, getting the crowd going. 10 extra onto that Kangaskhan.
Yoshiyuki, though, does have the boss's orders this time in hand.
All right, well, there's some plays that could line up with the 2-2-2, clearing off that Dragapult if you can establish a third Monkey Dory. You can see that energy switch, an attachment, a Penny. Some ways to move those damage counters, get all of those over to the other side, but chooses to go against that Bidoof.
Bidoof with 10 HP remaining. Yoshiyuki still needs to find 1 more energy. Energy switch doesn't work because we're still item locked.
Boss's orders, who's the threat? Doesn't think that Dusknoir will do too much damage at this time, and he says, go ahead, let's see it.
Big knockout here for Yoshiyuki, taking knockout on the lone Dragapult EX. Back now to Miguel. Actually doesn't even have anything to work with. Does have the energy, actually, to attack with the Dusknoir.
Yeah, buddy. Shadowbind coming into play. Is this how you win a regional championship?
Spooky.
No, it's not. Scoop it up. We're going to game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
I would have attacked and then maybe scooped. Just to say
that I did. Yep. Yeah, that was me. I'm the Shadowbinder.
But here we go. Yoshiyuki ties things up. Both players are now 1 win away from sweet, sweet championship gold. Ooh, very, very interesting series of events.
Yeah, it's been a bit uneasy for both of our players. It's trying to manage the most awkward board states imaginable. I don't think you could have written a goofier script for us, but I'll jump right back into the replay. See what happened here. I mean, stomping on the other side from Yoshiyuki. What a setup this time around.
Again, did miss out on the turn 1 Turbo Energize, but hey, still got there in the end. And this was, yeah, absolutely dominating. Boss's orders, lone Dragapult, and so close to Shadowbind. But nope, yeah. Doesn't put damage counter, so it doesn't count.
Not exactly the route that Miguel wanted to go that time around, but now has a great chance. Maybe the prize cards will be a little nicer this time. I'm sure the crowd's anxiously anticipating what we will see here for our game 3. So often, these can be the difference. we are underway. And I know 4 Dreepy aren't prized, because there's one.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the last game here at the Houston Regional Championship. Winner here will be our regional champion. Yoshiyuki is going to start us off. Kangaskhan in the active. Nest Ball is going to be played. And there's a Psyduck.
It's not a precious trolley, and it's not in the prizes, but you'll take a Psyduck to start things off. Mega Kangaskhan can draw into plenty of great resources, but the Psyduck can be one of those tricky ones that if you don't find it early and you don't hang on to it, you could run into a lot of trouble.
Very important. Nest Ball. This might be last item Yoshi plays for a minute, if Miguel has anything to say about it. So that's how important that one singular Psyduck is. Unless there's more in the hand.
I just want to see an energy at this point. It looks like there is a dark energy to go along with this now. Questions of the commitments, and wants to go with the bench Pokemon here.
And where does this Bravery Charm go? What's more important? Big Mega? No. Headache Duck? Yeah, it's going to be that.
Did we see Mega Kangaskhan use its ability?
I think he started with it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It was quick. I was like, hang on, pal.
There was a lot of cards in hand.
Okay. Well, this is a nice one to see in the hand. The Pokepad, it's not a Buddy Poppin just yet, but it will lead to that inevitable item lock that we so often see players lean into.
Yeah, I was going to check his prize cards, smile a little bit. That's the head nod of not 2 are prized this time.
Playable. It's still not great. There's a few resources in there you don't love to see, but it's manageable.
Yep, Pokepad there for the Budu. Do we see anything else playable? Hopefully a supporter. Here's the prize cards.
No more prizes. 1 copy of that Budu. One of those Dreepies, unfortunate, and so many ways to search out Pokemon. Oh, double Ultra Ball, a Buddy and a Hilda. Could lead to some awkward draws. Maybe Iono has something to say about that.
Yeah, 2 Ultra Ball being prized. That means there's only 1 in the deck. The 1 Hilda prize as well. That means it might be tough to find evolutions.
That's what we're looking at. And this is a huge draw, not only to find the Buddy Poppin, but I think the last 2 cards drawn were Dreepy Dracloak.
Wait, there's something missing though, Kyle. There's something missing.
Uh-oh, do we need energy?
I don't think I saw an energy. I don't think I saw a way to get Latias either.
Does Latias have 70 hit points? If not, we're in trouble.
Maybe if you squint.
I don't think we're going to see that just yet, and that could be an additional turn of items for Yoshiyuki. I can think of one that would be really nice at this time.
Pink card?
Good old pink card.
Ooh. Go. Just the Buddy Poppin.
I wonder if that gets a smirk out of Yoshiyuki to see a failed Buddy Poppin once more with 2 Dreepy. Says, oh, I got him! And nope, it's here.
Haha, I have 3 Dreepies to work with.
But no energy.
Yep, just a pass. Yoshiyuki has an Arven to work with. That means Turbo Energize. There's no Jamming Tower in play either.
Yeah, big find. It's not only the Arven, but also the pink card to fill out the rest of the board. Of a full setup, the fighting energy, the optimal energy for this Mega Kangaskhan also to be played there. And a full access to either the setup Monkey Dories or the aggression of the terminal, the Claw of Darkness on the Mega Absol. You can go either way from this point. We saw discarding from the hand was really good last time.
They choose not to bench the Latias. Is it in hand? Is it in prize cards?
And we didn't see it in the prize card, so maybe he has access to that in hand. And
okay.
I think Miguel would wish for the same thing.
Yep, there it is. This is the exact same bench he built up in the last game, and he won that last game. Oh, Turbo Energize. Able to accelerate 2 energy cards into the field.
I think guaranteeing the attacker just makes a lot of sense.
Nice and clean there as well. Be getting full use of those dark, the fighting energies means there's more darkness energies in the deck for the monkeys. There's a Dracloak though, and a second Dracloak potentially.
Yeah, and
there's draw.
This looks to be really clean from Miguel. If you wish to search out that second Dracloak now, you don't need to use Recon Directive. There's a Lily's Determination in hand. Draw the full 8 cards, then use that resource. You can add that hand, buff it up to 10 cards afterwards, and really start to make things work with that Itchy Pollen. Establishing an energy. If you find that Latias, you can move around. There's so many resources to be found.
At this point, though, once you start using Itchy Pollen, what item are you really stopping? I think the only thing that comes to mind is maybe Earthen Vessel stops, or Monkey Dory, because everything's on the bench now.
The energy's into play here, a tricky thing to worry about. Right now, Monkey Dory is not helping out. No energy switch shenanigans in that spot. Just buys you a little more time to find the energies for yourself.
There's just the Absol staring at me, and dedicating an energy to retreat feels a little bad as well, but also benching a Latias if you have access to it. Well, that's 2 prize cards easily.
Think of it this way. If the Mega Absol is promoted and wants to take a knockout, if Boss's Orders isn't a part of that combination, you're wasting 200 damage into a Budew in that spot. It's
fair enough.
Exactly the trade that Miguel would look for. You can have a card from my hand as long as you let me go down in prize cards, maybe start to work in some counter catchers and get the job done there. There's the Latios, so doesn't have to worry about the energy card just yet.
Oh,
there's a Neo. Okay. This is that commitment that we've seen. You play this early, and if there's a boss's orders waiting on the other side, you lose access to the attack. Every attack will be foreshadowed from that point forward with the attachments.
that's so risky. There was a Psychic Energy in hand. Do you think Miguel is just going to evolve the Dracloak anyway this turn?
That's just, I mean, it's just a hard read that your opponent will not have the answer if you don't evolve here.
Hoping that Yoshiyuki doesn't draw one of his 4 boss's orders is a very, very tough ask.
Pokepad once more for another Dracloak, find some more resources. He's really made a great board this time around. Exact opposite of game number 2. This is optimal on both sides now. Yoshi is ready to go back-to-back with boss's orders, 2 sitting in that 4-card hand.
Just a lot of energy here in Miguel's hand. The best one in the field. Neo upper, it stays on the field. Does Yoshiyuki have boss's orders? Take out a huge resource from Miguel. And there it is. Boss's orders on the Dracloak with the A-Spec.
Massive punish here for playing that card down. Gets a peek at the hand. You want to go after one of those 4 energies, or you want to take away an attacker? There's nothing great there yet.
It could be the Dragapult?
That's where I'm at. Oh, there's the Iono.
I didn't see the
That's a pretty good one when you're holding another boss.
Ooh. And just like that, Miguel is 2 turns away from attacking with a Dragapult. Has to try and commit 2 energies one by one.
And didn't see exactly what happened on that spot so quickly. Did the cards get played back? But did he find a supporter to go along with this after the Claw of Darkness? Did he just find another Iono after losing one?
That would be a big topic.
Oh,
yeah, it is.
Boy, that's, yeah, that helps.
And Yoshiyuki does play 4 boss's orders. There's still 2 more in the deck.
All right, to work into what the perfect optimized lines. Does Miguel here in this spot find Jamming Tower and Counter Catcher? If you can take out that Psyduck, establish Dusclops in combination with that, next turn you're threatening a Mega Absol KO on the other side with your Dragapult.
Absolutely none of that, Kyle. Nothing.
Well, then why am I even talking? What's the point? Draw the cards.
It was nice to hope.
Okay. Well, then let's just Itchy Pollen or something. Oh, wait. Bez!
There's hope.
Bez! Save us!
So Counter Catcher,
the script.
Stadium.
That's none of them.
Pheasant Dippity, do you need to read it again?
Flip the script from bad to worse on Miguel's
we're not done yet. That was still nothing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's Recon Directive, just the last one to work with that evolution. On the other side, is Itchy Pollen really the way to go? Get that weakness in there.
Oh, another boss's order in Yoshiyuki's hand. Can get another targeted attack. First attack into the Dragapult. This is so big again. Miguel is going to struggle to get things set up.
Yeah, at this point, as soon as the Neo upper energy is gone, you target wherever the energy is played. It does not matter about your cloaks. I don't care about a Pheasant Dippity. Do whatever you want. If you place an energy on it, I'm probably going after it at this point.
Taking out the boss's orders could take out the option for the Jet Headbutt play once again. Night Stretcher. Again, could we maybe set up the second Dracloak into Dragapult, attach there, get the boss's orders, Counter Catcher on the Psyduck, and since we're best attack is Jet Headbutt anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He just draws into everything that gets discarded.
Yeah. You ever want to piece together the puzzle, you need to hold on to these resources, and Mega Absol does a great job. Sure that you don't get the job done.
Here's a struggle, though. Because of the Dracloak, he has to pick. There is a boss's orders in hand, but he doesn't have the Jamming Tower just yet, so in order to prevent it getting sniped off once again, he's going to choose to actually send it to the bottom of the deck.
Okay. And it leads to the Dusclops, which could be played down. If you ever get the damage onto the Psyduck, you could try to set up that combo and use Curse Blast, but Prize Card's going to be falling left and right on Yoshiyuki's side. Attaching this energy would be brutal. That's a clear KO waiting, so wants to hold back.
Yeah, energy attachment instead onto the bench Dracloak. So I believe so. Oh, can't Pheasant Dippity. There was no knockout.
Feels like it.
Yeah, because that's just how brutal that attack was. Just a Jet Headbutt here. That doesn't seem... Yeah, that doesn't get that far. Luckily, there is no energies yet onto the Monkey Dory, so no movement yet, but no item lock. That means these Pokegears. Oh, there's also the Earthen Vessel.
Yeah, Pokegear taking a peek. If you ever saw another boss's orders, would you ever just go after the Cloak in that spot now? You have the damage on the Dragapult. You know that you can handle that Pokemon at any time, but it's a clean Dragapult that really threatens you at this point in the game. You don't want to see that hanging around.
Instead, it looks like it is going to be the Arven. Could even double get the E-Switch, maybe even get a knockout on a Duskull if you really want to get that aggressive.
Yeah, prize cards could be had here. With the Arven played, it takes away a few other resources that we could have otherwise seen. Some penny plays, but I think this is just fine at this point in time. Make use of these resources, find the energies, establish that Monkey Dory as a way to continue to threaten your opponent. Duskull will be a pretty easy KO at some point, obviously, but very simple KO at some point too.
Who getting the 30 damage onto the Dracloak? You were saying it was going to be safe. Oh, double onto the Dracloak. Just like that, it has 60 damage. It's no longer safe. It's in terminal period range.
Yeah, and a penny away from me finding even more answers at that point. It's could have taken a lot away, but this was the big attacker now.
What do you do now? You're so offbeat just because of your ace-spec getting taken out without getting use out of it.
Yeah, it was a big risk, and if it paid off for Miguel, then we could see additional energies thrown down, and you won't have to worry about them being targeted each time. Instead, you're just on the back foot, trying to take out this massive Pokemon on the other side. 250 hit points remaining. You have a little bit of reach with the Dragapult, but once that damage is on that Pokemon, it's likely to stay. Any damage you attack into at this point, Monkey Dory will check you. And that could be a knockout with Claw of Darkness, double Adrenabrain.
Yep, Pheasant Empathy this time at least can draws into the Dragapult. I didn't think it was the second energy, but this might be the, oh, there it is. There's the second energy. This might be Miguel's last Phantom Dive of the tournament. No backup GP just yet.
To close out in this game, typically it involves one of those Ionos. If your opponent's exhausted all of those resources, gone down on a low prize count, and then you take away one of those big Pokemon like that Mega Absol. If you could remove that, then you'd use that. But we see 3 Ionos already played to get to this point alone. Just so much needed to stay in this game for Miguel.
And even then, Yoshiyuki played around the potential for Iono. Getting that energy switch early means it's game on board. Well, knockout on board.
Yeah, just holding onto that dark energy has double Adrenabrain ready if there's additional damage played into that Mega Absol.
So Night Stretcher could re-establish the GP, but that is so far away from turning into a real threat at the moment.
Start to incorporate some other plays that we've seen with the Bidoof. If you have the counter catchers and try to stall for any time, Latias makes pretty quick work of that with retreating out, and you see him just holding on to that counter catcher. Needs to buy an additional turn. It's Bidoof, Itchy Pollen.
Doesn't even evolve the bench Dracloak, so that Dracloak has 30 HP remaining. Doesn't even need the boss's orders to try and deal with that.
Yeah, well, start waving goodbye. That is 100% a place to put that damage and clear off a major threat. And at this point, do you even need to attack? You could leave Mega Kangaskhan in the active spot, clear that Pokemon and pass turn, waiting to find your next boss's orders to target wherever an energy goes.
Yeah, but there it is, just Adrenabrain. Moving 3. Let's think about it. Where is it going?
Is this a trap?
Surely, this is too juicy to take.
Why do you want me to do this? Is there Blood Moon or Saluna coming? What?
Oh, opts to not do it.
Yeah, just wants to set up for like if you take multiple Pokemon off the board at the same time, he's got 3 prize cards remaining. It could be another checkmate style of situation. And
yeah, let's not open up the bench space for any sort of surprise. Very tough.
What an odd spot. 9 minutes remaining in this game.
Now, even if Miguel gets the attack off with the Dragapult, it's a terminal period plus double Monkey. That's done. Yeah, that is checkmate.
Attacking in at this spot seems impossible.
How do you win if you don't attack?
You believe in yourself. I don't know how you could possibly figure this one out. There's so much damage built onto your only clear answers. No bench spaces are opening up. It's never going to be a chance for Curse Blast. Psyduck's waiting there. Itchy Pollen isn't doing anything for you, and anytime you add a damage counter to the other side of the board, it is shoved right back to the other side. It is nearly insurmountable here for Miguel, but he will continue to press forward.
Maybe just buy time. Yes, it looks like Yoshi's opting to just pass. Maybe Miguel takes advantage of that. Let's just keep using the Bidoof, get more energy attachments, and then at some point, at least get Dragapult online, start taking knockouts on the bench, and then sending the 60 damage onto the Psyduck. So there's nothing to move.
From Yoshiyuki's side, 6 is the magic number. If you have 60 damage on a Dracloak, feels comfortable just leaving that there. It won't be moved to the other side. He's got the deck list information that there's no Monkey Dory to heal this Pokemon up. So if you place that one other damage counter onto the other Dracloak, you have guaranteed terminal periods waiting anytime they evolve into a Dragapult. And then that Badoo is an easy clear with a Monkey Dory.
I don't know how important that was to get the 10 damage onto the Latias as opposed to the Kangaskhan. Prevents drawing two cards and then going into Absol, I suppose.
A moral victory at that point. Skyliner.
And there it is, just a pass. Again, mentioned earlier, Miguel's missing beats because of the Neo upper. At this point, he should be back in beat 4 energy attachments in any case, but the board is just... The fact that it's just 6 damage on each makes the board look so bad.
This is the spot that you don't want to see as a Dragapult player. Attacking him with Jet Headbutt has been his best answer so many times. It's because leaving damage on the other side of the board when the Monkey Dories are established forces an answer on the other side. Clear knockouts, and there is no pressure on this Mega Absol.
Yeah, there's... Attacks have to leave no damage at all for Miguel to stay into this. The attacks, clear knockouts already are on the board with the Dragapult EXs, and then the fact that Badoo has 30 HP is simple. Whoop, monkey.
The one thing that really could mess with Yoshiyuki at this point is any issues with his sleeves.
Don't put that out there, Kyle.
Oh, he just passed his deck over to the judge. He's being very careful with how this goes down at this point.
Is there a judge draw? Can you draw the card for me, Judge? Is that a thing?
I've yet to see that yet. I've seen the judge ball where they shuffle for you whenever, and they have to play your own Pokemon down. We're a little past that point.
Ichipollen once again. Singular damage counter.
All right. Well, release determination. See a few more cards.
At this point as well, Miguel can't even Ichipollen safely into a Kangaskhan.
No, it feels bad. do you stop attacking to avoid getting to that crucial third damage counter? It could lead to some real issues now. And with Live Stadium, bump up those hit points a little more.
Hey, it makes things tougher. Badoo can now survive one Monkey Dory throw.
Okay. Go Badoo. You've earned it. No rush from Yoshiyuki. The clock continues to tick. 5 minutes remaining for Miguel to solve this puzzle. He has attackers ready. But are they ready to attack?
You can't even depend on Dusknoir now. Neo upper is gone. Oh, Turo gets Badoo out of harm's way. So there's no easy, simple, single throw of Adrenabrain. But Dusclops is still in play.
Duskull, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Still, this board is not an answer. If you promote that Dragapult, attack in, you're leaving enough damage to where Penny Monkey Dory can close that game out. Cannot leave that as an option. Too many resources in the hand for Yoshiyuki. I don't think we've even seen one of those play just yet. Plenty of resources.
That's the safe Pokemon to retreat into now, though. Blood Moon Ursaluna can't even attack. I don't think Yoshiyuki's even going to let it attack. If he's going to win the game, he's going to win the game by taking 3 prize cards.
Right. You can set up this spot to where you don't ever have to reveal too much. And this is a pass over with the Duskull. 2013? What are we doing here with Duskull pass?
Just a pass. Now Yoshiyuki does find a boss's orders if he chooses to take knockouts this turn. There it is, boss's orders on the Pheasantipity.
Right, attacks in, sees the hand, puts a bunch of damage onto this Pokemon, removes the boss's orders. That hand is not looking pretty, and Pheasantipity is 10 damage away from being KO'd.
Now there's the only thing you can hide behind as Miguel is the Blood Moon Ursaluna.
Okay.
Again, there is 10 damage on the board. There's 2 damage actually with the Mega Kangaskhan, so moving 2 with the Monkey Dory does get a knockout here on the Pheasantipity eventually. But again, Yoshiyuki's going to take all 3 prize cards in one turn. Not going to allow the Blood Moon Ursaluna's seasoned skill ability to activate.
Miguel solves the first piece of denying the 1 prize Pokemon, but Pheasantipity's still there. If the answer is available, I'm sure Yoshiyuki could find it. But 1 damage counter to take away this.
And I see the boss's orders. There it is. Woo! Boss's orders. That's boss. Yoshiyuki, the ultimate boss here at the Houston Regional Championships. What a